All right, so I'm Jeff Patterson. I'm the founder and CEO of Gaggle. So I'm the opposite guy, the guy who believes everything that you all don't believe probably. If you say the sky is blue, I think it's green. I'm prone to saying outrageous things, extreme statements, and hyperbole, all of which I believe on some level. So that said, I started Gaggle about 20 years ago. I'm bootstrapped. We have about 90 employees. We're profitable. We're growing. Anything else I was going to say? We protect about 5 million students across the United States. So I am not here to raise money. I am not looking for a transaction. Therefore, I feel like a fascist invited to a Communist Party meeting. So all of you go, the communists. So that's really how I see it. In fact, I actually think what's wrong with EdTech is the investor community. So to sort of lay out my street credibility. So my goal here is to be a guide to the young entrepreneurs in the room, those who are starting to build a company, who want to have a 20-year vision for making a difference in the world. I'm talking to the handful of those of you who are in the room to do that. I really believe it's important to make a difference. I will be your guide, your Osho. So here comes Fast and Furious, my thoughts on how to succeed in the EdTech space. So here's the slide that you put in your pitch deck telling your investors how you're going to grow, and they believe it's doable. This is not doable in K-12, not in a long shot. This is an actual revenue graph of the growth of my leading product now. So this represents about 70% of my revenue. And I launched this about 10 years after I was already a known quantity in the education space. I already had relationships and customers and people knew who I was. And still, this is how long it takes to succeed in EdTech. 4 years before any significant revenue. So I'll tell you a story. I used to go to the Texas Computer Education Association every year, and I'd get in my booth, and everybody who would walk by, I'd say, "You hear about Gaggle? You hear about Gaggle? You want to talk about Gaggle?" I did that for 4 years, and finally this woman comes up, pounds on the table, and says, "Jeff, I've seen you here for 4 years. I think you might make it, so I'm now willing to talk to you." That's how long it took before she could even bother to even talk to me. That was Luann Hughes, the CTO of Temple ISD. She became a customer, and a 10-year customer. She's still a customer today. Longevity is important to educators. They won't trust you. They shouldn't trust you, but once they do, you've got loyalty. This is a fractured market space. It is very fractured. You need to find your product niche. You need to find a regional niche. Alabama could be your niche. That could be the one market you dominate. Kevin Custer, who is a great guy in the education space. He's an investor, right? He's a consultant, one of the few people I've ever paid money to. He taught me years ago that the biggest you can ever be in K-12 is 40% of the market. And the example he gave was Pearson's SIS products, right? Pearson still, well now it's PowerSchool, but they dominated the SIS market. The maximum they ever got market share was 40% in any one state or across the nation. That's how fractured this space is. There is no rush. Speed to market kills in K-12. If you try to go fast, you're going to fall down and stumble, and you will never get back up. If you raise some money, don't spend it as fast as you told the investors. Slow it down, because you want to survive. There's a recession coming, and when that comes, you will want every dollar that you have. There's something else I was going to say. Oh, wow. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, cash flow is reality. You need to start paying attention to reality. So, you have a business. You have no idea what it's really going to be. You think you have a business, but that's not what it's going to be if it ever succeeds. The educators will tell you who you should be when you grow up. I've pivoted no less than 4 times to survive as long as I have. Freemium models rarely work. What they will tell you is what teachers are willing to use, but you need to focus on what districts are willing to buy. Partnerships. I believe partnerships are a waste of time. So here's the story. When I started, I went around to everybody, let's partner, let's do a press release. Then the dot-com bust came. And I learned those were worth nothing. Those companies disappeared, the relationships disappeared. It never mattered anything anyway. The only things that matter are users and revenue. The rest is bullshit. Avoid lawyers. Right? Us entrepreneurs, we're smart, creative people. Lawyers, mostly not, to be honest. right? Lawyers, they basically do a lot of research, they follow a set of linear thinking. They are not going to solve your problem. I heard a great quote today from someone I appreciate, who said a good lawyer shouldn't tell you no, they should show you how. So your question to the lawyer should be, how do I do X, not can I do X? So I'm not a fan of lawyers. Even to this day, I do not have a lawyer on retainer. If there's a contract, I'm going to review it because I'm going to understand the nuance of that contract. Statewide deals. You hear about statewide deals occasionally. Oh, state X is going out to RFP for whatever. Avoid statewide deals like the plague. That is a recipe for disaster. It's a disaster in the making. I can go into that at length of why, if you win it, it's a political process you want, and then it will destroy you in 3 years. Then there's something called statewide hunting licenses. Those, who cares, right? You're not selling anything unless you go school by school or district by district. So entrepreneurs, this is going to be the hardest one to hear. Your biggest problem is your co-founder. That's your biggest problem, because your vision and style is going to differ from your co-founders. One of you is going to think that they're doing all the work. And the fighting doesn't start until the money starts coming in. Ollie, I know you know what I'm saying right here. That's when you actually start fighting with your co-founders, when you start making money. Speaking of equity, this is a heresy. Do not give people stock. They don't value it as much as you. You started a company, you value your stock. It might be worth something or not. Do not give stock away. If you give away your equity, you destroy your ability to play the long ball game. And in K-12, it's the long ball, right? 10, 20 years. I still have a 10-year vision for where I'm going after this. Earn your big boy pants. When I was 5 employees, I did not go around telling people, I'm the CEO, I'm the CEO. Look, start humble, stay humble, right? Stay close to the people and let them tell you who and what you are. This is the best piece of advice I have. Join a CEO mentoring group, right? Whether it's Vistage or YPO, EO, something. I joined a CEO mentoring group when I was in my late 30s. I wish I had joined when I was 25. It's the single best thing I've done for my company and myself to grow and solve problems. You really need that CEO mentoring group. And by the way, your investors, they are not it, right? They don't care about you. Let's be honest, they don't care about you. And they're not operators, so they don't understand the problems that you are going to be facing. I need to be louder. All right. So I believe you need to find a set of CEO peers and mentors, people who will care about you personally and your personal success, and not just about the company. Because sometimes, while Gaggle is my personal identity, I am more than that. Each of you is more than that as well. And so that is my stream of consciousness. So thanks for letting me entertain you.